are many little things of annoyance building up to something bigger. And you don't really know how to handle this. Good morning, this is the I Ching reflection for today. My name is Hanna. I am happy to have you here. So as usual, we are starting by rooting into the present moment. And we're doing this by breathing in and out through our nose. Into the stomach, feeling the stomach expand as we breathe in and contract as we breathe out. Connect to the surface below you. So if you're sitting on a chair, place your feet firmly on the floor in front of you. And then feel the weight from your body connecting to the surface below, connecting to Mother Earth below. And as you breathe in, your spine rises towards the sky, crown point towards the sky, chin tilts inwards slightly as the spine rises into the base of the skull. And as you breathe out, you relax, but you don't collapse. With each breath out, you relax more into Mother Earth, and with each breath in, you're connecting to the heavens above. So you stay with your breath, and I will draw the hexagram. So how are the energies around us today, and how do we best navigate them in order to have the most smooth and joyous day forward? And specifically, can we look at the small niggly things that are building to something, many small niggly things that are building to something bigger, and how do we best handle this? Okay. We've got 46 growing upward, followed by 15 humbleness, and the underlying energy of 14 great harvest. So I like to start by reading one bit from Humbleness, actually, which is the future potential. Is I have 3 treasures. So this is from the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tse. From Tao Te Ching. I have 3 treasures that I guard and hold dear. The first one is love, the second is contentment, and the third is humbleness. Only the loving are courageous, only the content are magnanimous, only the humble are capable of commanding. So at the moment, there are little things happening around you that might annoy you, but you're being asked to cultivate humbleness. However, I like to look at this reading slightly different than this being present and this being the future. This was also the past, because the underlying energy here is great harvest. And we get great harvest when we are being humble. So which means that you are already in this cycle. You are being humble in your ways and presenting yourself with other people. Therefore, the underlying energy here of you is that you are actually receiving great harvest. And you're being asked to remember this as these little small niggly things keeps on happening. Okay? Because what's happening here is, while all this is going on, you keep on cultivating your inner virtue. And this is what it's speaking about. So growing upward is talking about a tree that is growing upward. Okay, so it starts by the seed is penetrating, or the little seedling penetrates the soil and then grows slowly upward, and then deep root as well downwards. So the growth downwards is as great as the growth upwards. So the tree will be nourished and be able to grow strong, and being able to weather all kind of storms, and the roots are making sure that the tree is getting nourishment through the earth and through water, being able to get hold of water deep in the soil, even during the most dry periods, okay? And in order to grow a tree like that, we must allow it to happen slowly. Okay, we must allow it to happen in its own time. And this is about growing for ourselves as well. And many times we grow through little things. Right? Little things that are happening where we maybe in the old times would become really upset about and maybe lash out and whatever. But you are learning, and you have learned to deal with this in a different way. You take a step back and check it. Is this really worth the trouble? Or how can I present this the best way so it becomes a benefit to everyone around you? But growing upward is also speaking a lot about being sincere and truthful. So it's also guiding you to actually being truthful and speak your mind. And especially this second line here, changing line, is saying that speaking up now is very beneficial, right? However, it is not speaking up by being whining or moaning or criticizing or being negative. It is by using humbleness, right? Being humble. And think about how you should present this. And maybe you should take one thing at a time. And maybe you should take one thing and let go of the other things. And then cultivate your inner virtues, and then go back within and thinking, okay, what is important now? And then look at the bigger picture. What are you actually receiving? Because many times we get stuck on these little niggly things and think, oh, that's wrong, and that's wrong, and that's wrong. And we get really annoyed with that, rather than looking at the big picture and saying, what am I actually receiving from here? Okay. So humbleness here, but speaking up truthfully, but speak from a heart of wisdom, right? And from a place of love. Right? Because here, only the loving are courageous. So you are going to be being guided to be courageous enough to speak up, but it must come from love, right? Otherwise, it's just criticism is just something that is not very positive, right? We must speak from the place of that we want to help and benefit, that will benefit others as well. It will benefit the person you speak to as well. It might not look like that in first, but that must be your intention, okay? Only the content are magnanimous. So it means that if you're content and thinking, okay, this is good enough anyway, this is not the end of the world, the little niggly things, but it's not the end of the world, the big picture is wonderful, right? Then we can give freely, and we can let go freely as well, because we look at the big picture, okay? And do not focus in on these little needle points of annoyances, okay? Because you look and sing, actually, life is pretty good right now, okay? And then only the humble are capable of commanding. And then only by being humble, can you present your words in a way that others will listen. Because when we go lash out or we criticize and we're being, oh, this is not good, blah, 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 then people stop listening. So whatever you're saying won't be taken in, won't be received, and it won't be of benefit to anyone, okay? There will be anger and frustration and resentment maybe. So the reading today is speaking about you are already in this cycle. You are growing upwards. You are taking time to move inwards. Your humbleness in the past has led to this inner peace of this great harvest within, which is then allowing you to grow upwards and grow more and cultivate your inner virtues. And then with the future here, where you're going to, by being humble, in that way present truthfully something that will benefit you, but also others around you. Okay, although it might be something that feels a bit uncomfortable to bring up. Anyway, that was the reading for today. I hope it was of benefit, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead.